You know,
we're back.
I crack up every time I see him. Imagine this. He was in his car doing that. Imagine you driving down the road and you see this dude.
That's very funny. That is very funny. It never gets old.
Every morning, but you don't realize he was in the car blowing the horn.
And we talk about making an impact. Mike definitely made an impact. Like, he impacts the show every day now.
Without a doubt. So Monday morning, so much happening. The 8th of August, boom, it just keeps flowing and going. Let's get into your weekend. Let's see pictures from Mark's weekend.
What a fantastic weekend. It was spent out and about. Got to visit some friends at Dune. We had a baby happy hour on Saturday night, and then on Sunday after church got to go visit with our good friends the Hills. And wouldn't you know, by chance, we sat right behind the Latrento family. I got to see Jerry and his wife and all the kids, and they had the whole squad there. And we were like, we sit down, we start eating, and I don't even pay attention. Like, I'm with my back to them, and I just hear Mark. And I'm like, what? I turn around and it was the whole squad. So it was super cool. It was great for Jerry to meet Jules. I was really happy about that. It was just a fantastic weekend. Time well spent with the inner circle.
Jerry is a good dude, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, and what's funny is that when you look at Jerry, Jerry's got a bit of an intimidating vibe to him. He's kind of got like this hard exterior. He has a presence, but he's like a teddy bear when you get to know him,
Love it, love it. I'm actually, this week kicks off my Bank United tour. I start in Broward today. I'll be speaking in Tampa on Wednesday. Then we circle back and do Miami and Palm Beach. So really exciting stuff. Shay, show them my weekend.
Boom.
So some of this was Friday.
You kicked it off right on Friday, that's for sure.
Well, that's the weekend tone started on Friday. Got to go and have lunch with Xenia. Xenia handles the HR and recruiting for Lamarck, who is a friend. That firm are friends of ours and strategic partners. She's in this big office all by herself. She brings in lunch for us. So we had a great day. Then we visited with our man Chaz. Wound up at Southport for National Oyster Day. That's Matt Newman. And then closed out the weekend Saturday night with Roy Abrams. Roy, who is at the bottom of that picture, is the only human being that I know that was born on the same date of the same year. So
exact same age as you.
Exact same age, minutes apart, actually, as it were. So we are connected forever. So
like twins.
It was really, really great stuff. All of that's great. It's Monday, but we are 1 month away from something super special. Mark, what's happening?
The book is almost here. We are exactly 1 month away from the release and launch of the book. Very exciting, very cool to have put it out this morning in a post and seeing the response and engagement and feedback from people that are excited to read it. And I was having this conversation with Gabby, and I was like, I don't know why it feels different. Like, I write every day. Every day I write, I post it, and I could care less about what people think about it. But for some reason, now that it's in a book, there's like all of these like jitters about like, what will people say about your story? What will people think? So it's exciting. It's really exciting.
I'm super proud. In your post, as you said, I pushed you to do this. I wrote my book when I was 59. You're writing a book at 36. Pretty special. But for those who, my book still lives. Thank you to those in LinkedIn land who continue to take my book along for the journey. There's Tim Nelson, there's Lou, and there's Paul. Paula. So just great stuff about people continually validating the work that I did, and they'll do the same for you. So look at Hayden, man. Hayden,
I know already, like the audio version, like yes, the audio version will eventually get done, but the book version is what we're doing first.
So I remember when I wrote the book, I wrote the book. The book was out there, and like people go, "When are you going to write your next book?" What the fuck? I just wrote a book. What are you doing, man? Shay, wake me up and let's get this show started. Today, we have unbelievable guests. We have Mark Cuban, we have Richard Branson, and we have the one and only Christian White. Let's go.
Wake up, everybody! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Wake up! Come on! Wake up, everybody! Did you know me? Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody! No more sleeping in bed. No more about to thinking, time of thinking ahead. Come on now.
Okay, a couple of things before we get going. Jonathan, continue.
the comic relief coming from Jonathan is fantastic.
I can already hear Morgan Freeman doing it.
Right. I mean, if I was going to really choose somebody, though, there's no way I'm going Morgan Freeman, right? I mean,
Andy Dufresne. And then Josh, who was part of our call last week. Josh, you got to change your settings so that you show up with your name. Shay will send you the information to do that. So anyway, it's Monday morning. Everybody's talking about coffee, but let me give you what the real meaning of coffee is. Coffee spelled backwards is EFOC. So just know that I don't give EFOC until I've had my coffee.
Great way to start your Monday with some laughter. Well done.
But we would get started. I wanted to mix things up this morning. I want to start with motivational music. I want to kick this week in the ass. I want us to be the best we can be. And the way to do that is with a rebel yell.
Last night a little dancer came dancing to my door. Last night a little angel came pumping on my floor. She said, "Come baby, got a license for love. And if it expires, pray help from above. Because in the midnight hour, she cried more. With a rebel yell, she cried more. Wow. In the midnight hour, more. With a rebel yell, more. Don't like slavery, she won't sit and beg. But when it's out alone, she sees me too big. What set you free and brought you to me, babe? What set you free? I need you here by me. Because in the midnight hour, she cried more. With a rebel yell.
So I want everybody, when the huddle is over, to walk in front of the mirror and give a rebel yell.
More, baby. Let's go.
More. I want more.
Speaking of wanting more, Hayden Kassan got better in a lot of ways this weekend. First, he did a very cool thing in going and swimming for the SEALs and doing something for veterans to give back. So he swam up in New York, and then he proposed to his girlfriend, and they got engaged. So congratulations to Hayden.
The most fascinating part of that is that she said yes. So.
He sent me some great pictures. It was really awesome. Hey, thanks for sharing it with me.
While we're doing Rebel Yell, because that deserves a Rebel Yell, shout out to our friend Eddie Dykes, who's celebrating his birthday today. So happy birthday. Before we get to Christian White, I want you to stick around. He's got a really cool announcement. You know how excited I am about my involvement with United Way. I thought we'd have Mark Cuban join us this morning and talk about the number one reason why most people fail in business. So here's your lesson for today. Welcome, Mark Cuban.
Out of all the reasons in the world, and I've read your book, you have the 10, all these keys to success, etc. What would you say is the number one reason why people fail? Not necessarily why they make it, the complete opposite.
Right, lack of brains, lack of effort.
Lack of brains, lack of effort.
Yeah, they don't do the work. They don't learn, when you walk in the room, when you start a business and you start to talk about somebody, you're never in a vacuum with no competition, unless you're just extremely lucky. And if there's going to be competition, that means somebody else knows your business as well as you do when you get started. And if you walk into a competitive environment and they still know more about the business than you do and more about your customers, you're going to lose. But most people don't consider that. They don't do the work. They don't learn more about their industry. They don't know even about their business. And so you've got to put in the effort to know more about your industry than anybody else. And that's the brains part, and that's the effort part as well. Because look, if you're competing with me, you better know what you're doing, otherwise I'm going to kick your ass, and you're not going to outwork me. And so, the combination is usually what kills businesses early on more than anything.
Love that. It's such a drop the mic moment, and that is so true for anything, right? Like if I go back to football, if you look at athletes or coaches, the guys who knew more were the guys who did better. The guys who understood both sides of the ball, the guys who understood their position inside and out, the guys who had the knowledge were the guys who, if they were talented also, would be the greats, or the guys who maybe weren't so talented would overcome that lack of talent because of what they knew. And so to see him take that philosophy and apply that across any industry, I don't care, doesn't matter where. And when he talked about customers, like knowing your customers, knowing who they are, what matters to them, and starting that way, it's great advice to start the morning.
Kitty gets it right. No substitute for the work. Every single time I present, our content to people, they think it's a silver bullet. Oh, that's all I need to do is LinkedIn and no, it's a piece of the puzzle. So look at Lori. Yes. Shout out to JA for sure. He's a JA entrepreneurship alumni. So there's your content, there's your music. And now we really get to the guest of honor. Please welcome our friend, a huddler from the beginning, head of biz dev for United Way, Chris White.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Huddle family.
Let's not forget he's a Knoll.
Oh, wait a minute.
Absolutely.
Wait.
Can we mute Steve now? Mute him. Good morning, everyone. Huddle family. Good to talk to you. Guys, I have an exciting announcement. The United Way is setting sail once again this year on the new Edge Series class Celebrity Cruise Lines, Celebrity Beyond. We had the pleasure, the amazing opportunity to set sail from November 6th through November 8th on the Celebrity Beyond's inaugural sailing. Lisa Lutoff-Perlo, which is our board chair and the CEO of Celebrity Cruise Lines, has gifted us 75 staterooms, where 100% of those proceeds from those staterooms come to the United Way. So I really want to see some Huddle representation on the boats. Monday morning when the show's going live, let's all go live together, be on the Daily Huddle and really show off and make Mark and now Steve feel really bad that they're not on the ship.
well, so when the Celebrity Apex launched, I did go on that cruise. It was absolutely fantastic because they don't sail at 100%. So you really have the room of the ship. It's really great. This came across my desk without a doubt. I just said, boom, put me in. I'm going again. Do it. I sign up. I'm real excited. I send the confirmation to Helen. She goes, "What are you doing? We're in New York for the New York Marathon." Oh, shit. You know, so I cannot be there, but it's not for lack of trying. It's really an amazing what they have done to new ships is really, excuse the pun, but really beyond imagination.
It's
And
luxury
I
on the
love
high
that
seas.
idea, Chris. I love the idea of, even though we won't be on the boat, I love the idea of having somebody who's there go live with a Huddle t-shirt on and bring you on and talk about what's happening on the boat. That would be an
Mary Beth and I will
unbelievable
definitely be
opportunity.
doing it. I just want to see who else in this crew here is definitely going to be joining us.
That's right.
So it is a discounted rate. All of the money, 100% goes to United Way or goes to charity, because I think that there's some other charities.
There is some other
involved as
charities
well.
involved. I'm not going to announce them because they have their own spotlights that they're going to be advertising. But of these 75 rooms specifically, 100% of the proceeds go to the programs and services that the United Way of Broward provides.
So we will post the details. Kitty will post the details right here. Shay, do you have the details already or no?
You should.
Yeah.
UnitedWayBroward.org/beyond.
That's fantastic.
Thank you,
He's
gentlemen. I
getting it.
appreciate your time.
Well,
Everybody,
do me a
good to see you.
favor.
Good to talk to
Do
you.
me a favor before you leave. Why don't you give us the elevator pitch for United Way? What is United Way? What do you do? Why do you go out and work as hard as you do to raise money and awareness?
The reason I do what I do is one, just to continue to make a tremendous impact in Broward County for the all-inclusive support that we provide the community all throughout Broward, from east to west, north to south. Broward is helped along with the other nonprofit organizations, the amazing nonprofit organizations that are represented in this morning huddle. But the United Way supports children, supports our veterans, which is one of the main reasons I joined, to help our brothers that are retired, served our country, and continue to serve. And then we have our impoverished communities that just need help, need that helping hand to stand up and continue to fight another day. And that's what we're here for.
One life at a time, baby. One life at a time, which I love that. We represent the 1% mentality, and I think that's what you guys do so well, is affect one person at a time to make a huge impact in the community, which is really great.
So Shay just posted it for all of you watching, listening, watching later. Please, if you don't go, share it with your audience. Power of social media, spread it. So you deliver good information, a good time, all for a good cause.
Great opportunity.
KW, always a pleasure to have you, my friend.
Thanks, Chris. Go Knowles.
So little did I know that Kitty McGowan is a Knoll too.
Yeah, you know what? You know what you start to find out is that the people that you like the most tend to be Knowles, baby.
Oh, I don't believe that for 1 second.
I love it.
It was so funny though, because we were walking on the beach yesterday, and a couple walked by, and the guy was wearing a Knowles shirt, and we stopped, and they took a picture of us. We took a picture of them, and I was like, "Oh, so you're a Knoll? Oh, yeah, but I'm a Gator." His wife was a Gator. I was like, "I know what it is. I know what it's like." So to close out today, and to also sort of validate the world we live in, I got to get information from Mark Cuban direct in my inbox or direct to YouTube. I'll get out of no.
Katari's a Knoll too, baby. Let's go.
Katari, the lunch we were going to have is now out.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Show you the power of the reach of information. So I got all of that stuff from Mark Cuban because I looked for it. Here's what LinkedIn does. LinkedIn gives us, Shay, show me, ask Richard. Bang. I mean, can you imagine, you get to sit or hear from a guy who's been uber successful, talking about cruises, talking about airlines, talking about all the businesses he's got into. And the Ask Richard that was so phenomenal that we're going to close out the show with is, how do you forge deeper partnerships and collaborations?
Which, I mean, like the fact that that was the topic and that's what LinkedIn is serving to, again, it goes back to the point of like, it's hands down the greatest tool, because Mark Cuban's talking about doing the work. You have to define what the work is. You can't just work just to work. And so when you're talking about growing your knowledge and you're listening to the best people doing it that are willing to share it, it doesn't get any better.
So this was generated by a question from the audience,
right?
Which is unbelievable. So many of you submitted fantastic questions about the best ways to collaborate, unite, forge relationships that create meaningful change. I enjoyed learning how all of this impact your lives. This is Richard speaking. I decided Tanya Kellen's question, I was going to answer that. And so how do you forge deeper partnerships and collaborations? Number one, connect with people who have different skills and strengths.
And so that to me is when people look at their LinkedIn strategy on who to connect with, and they're always like, well, should I be, friending my competitors? Should I be friending, should I accept these connection requests from other people? And to me, everybody is a source of information until they prove they're not. So whether they're a competitor, whether they're somebody who has somebody of a completely opposite perspective, you have the opportunity to learn something from them until they prove to you that they don't, until that opportunity is not there. So offering that opportunity for information to come in is so important. And I think people don't do enough of that. Too many people are connecting with the like-minded, right? It's so great to connect with somebody who's like-minded. Sure it is, because it feeds all of us our own beliefs. And we're like, yeah, we're right. We're thinking the right things. Sometimes it's great to hear the contrary opinion to see, wow, I got some growth here. I've never looked at it from that perspective. And you see it from the other side of the table, and it offers you an opportunity to get better.
So he gives 4 examples. I'm going to go into one more because I think we'll go into overtime. Shay, give me overtime.
And we'll go to overtime.
Time on a Monday. Gotta love it. Numbers are strong today. Listen to this one. Break down hierarchies and build relationships based on equality. What does that mean? I hear more often than not, why would a CEO want to talk to me?
Right.
And am I right? It's mind-boggling to me. So here's what he says. It's difficult to form meaningful connections if there are stuffy protocols, stiff upper lips, and old-fashioned hierarchies. This is why we've never had a dress code and why I go around cutting off people's ties.
So, I love the way he looks at that. I, from the contrary opinion, still believe that there should be an order. He's not telling you to throw out the org structure and don't have roles and responsibilities and a clear line of communication. But what he is saying is that there's no reason that there shouldn't be information coming from one side of the organization to the other, as long as people understand how and why they're communicating. I had somebody that I worked with the other day. I was like, why aren't you sharing that with the CEO? And he's like, well, I don't really know how or why I would do that. Gave him the idea on how to present it to him. And he got incredible feedback from the CEO because he offered that information about what was happening.
Great leaders listen. Great leaders go to all parts of the organization and create that open flow. And so here, Richard Branson is telling you, don't be afraid to talk to me, but also don't be afraid to listen to the person who's mopping the floor, because they're the ones who'll give you the real feedback about what's going on. So, everybody has a voice. Everybody needs to be heard. Cut out the hierarchies. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Mark. Mark Cuban.
Thank you, Chris White.
Nudelberg. Thank you, Chris White. What a great networking event. Hope you come back tomorrow. But now it's time to
let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Give you one more night, one more